Warm and cosy in here, so I thought we'd go a little bit back to basics today. I'm going to work with a cream tile. I've got my pen pencil tortillon, and I've actually got a Micron 01 here, but I don't know if you can see that, it's purple, and I just think it's quite nice to sometimes, there we go, look, to try a different colour. I mean, you can get a few different ones. I've got, there's a burgundy there, hang on a second, burgundy one, and I've got, I think, a pink and a brown and an orange, so you can get hold of them. I'm in the process of working on that myself, so bear with me. So there you go, look, there's a pink one, but I'm going to keep it pretty basic today. As I say, I'm going to use the purple one, and then of course my regular stuff. I've got a white chalk pencil as well on the on the horizon, but other than that, that's all I'm doing. There's not going to be any colour other than just what I've got in that pen today. So all right, so yeah, I've been reading up on some of the posts, and although we get quite crazy with colour, and we love doing it, it's just nice to sort of bring it back a little, and remember that we've got people, I suppose, that have never done this before, and wondering where on earth we go with it. So first thing then is we're going to come in with our pencil, take a deep breath, have a relax. Okay. And I'm just going to come in and I'm going to put a dot in each corner. Oh, it's lovely to sort of have a chance to just sort of see a few names coming up there. Hi Karen, Viv, Bernadette. It's lovely. It is like tangling with friends, isn't it? And I can't wait until we all get together again. I have actually signed a lease on a new premises, so we get the keys tomorrow. There's a little bit of work to do before we can get in there. But when we can, it's a fantastic teaching space. So I've really thought about this. Okay. So what I'm doing now is I'm just joining those dots. I'm not too worried about whether it's level or not. You can do a wavy one if you want, it's fine. But I'm just going to keep it sort of basic. We can change it if we want. You see there, a little bit of a double line, but that's absolutely fine. It's not such a big thing if you don't get them straight. Please don't worry about it. It's just going to come out how it's going to come out. And we're not worried on the end result. We're just concerned with what's happening right here, right now. So I'm going to stick with my pencil, just nice and lightly. Now I say lightly because I'm going to press on a little bit harder because I want you to see what I've drawn. And I'm going to start with a bit of a swirl. Again, you'll notice I've not tried to sort of find the centre. Oh, Janet, yes, there is a Premier Inn round the corner from where it is. So we've thought about that as well. And there's a Morrison's not far from it. So, you know, we can food if we like. So, absolutely. Yeah. The only thing with it is it's got stairs. And we're going to look at renting a stair lift. Well, we've got a little bit of a way to go yet. We've got to go in and sort it out. So, okay, you can see I've gone quite wide with this. I'm not doing a narrow because obviously we're going to tangle in it. And it's important to give yourself a little bit of space. Now, I'm not saying you've got to do it as wide as mine or as narrow, but it's nice to have a little bit of a gauge, isn't there, to sort of have something to go into. Okay, and a little bit there. All right. Okay. Oh, you're welcome, Maureen. Glad you got it. We do our best to get you there. Okay, so now I'm happy with that. I'm going to come on in and I'm just going to work it round with my pen. Now, of course, I'm not going to think about rubbing out the lines or anything. I'm going to leave it as is. You see there where it's a little bit, it's got a bit of a point almost. I'm just going to sort of curl it round. You see, so you can make amendments if you want to as you're going. Okay, so Again, just going to bring that round. So don't think it's got to sort of be set in stone. It hasn't. See, I'm going to just sort of ease that off there as well. And then, of course, if you wanted to, you could have gone straight in with a pen. And, I've done it this way. And then again, I'm just going to now draw this one in. Okay. So no rush with this. And I say we're not after that perfect curve. We just want something we can work in. So whatever's comfortable. Okay. Same with this one. And then that little bit on the end there. And I think whilst I've got my pen now, I'm going to come on in and I'm going to draw in that border. Okay, so really everything that I did with pencil is now covered in pen. There we go, straight down. And same here. Now, it's sometimes you think, oh, it's really difficult to do a line and try and keep it straight. The idea is don't try and keep it straight. Just relax your hand, hold your pen but not too tightly, and then move your whole arm. There we go. Work it way down, and that's sort of where we're at. Okay, bit of a Swiss roll going on there. All right, so I'm gonna make it a little bit larger. There we go. And I think to start with, I'm gonna add a little loop on the end. All right, and then I'm just gonna fill it in. Now, if you've got a thicker pen, you can fill it in with a thicker pen. But I said I was gonna stick to basics today and just use what I've said I've got, so there we go. Okay, and then sort of, I don't know, maybe just around here, I'm just going to put a bit of a curve in. Okay, so thinking about this to start with, I'm just going to come on in, I'm going to do my little dots and dashes just to sort of create a little bit of a curl in the middle there. Oh, Rose, what have you been spotting? It's not a new product particularly. I like to do, as you know, I like to do little limited editions now and again. And I have got a few, but not many, so I will put them on my shop in the next couple of days. I'll try and do it today. There we are. See, I'm not trying to sort of fill the whole thing. I'm just giving it a little bit of depth there, a little bit of a design. Okay. All right, so I'm going to pull out a little, just for a little, so you can see what I'm going to do now. And what I'm going to work on, I want to create this curve, but I want to break it into sections. So what I'm going to do is just sort of work it round into curves. Now again, obviously the size of the curve, I'm trying to think proportionally. And of course, we've got to fill all these in within the hour, so we don't want we don't want just 2, but we don't want 60 million either. So just work around, and it does help to turn your tile. It really does, to get that same sort of curve shape. So you know, please do that. Don't think I'm just gonna put a line in. Just sort of keep turning it, and you get that similar line. Plus, it's more relaxing, isn't it? It's easier to draw something the same if you keep turning that paper rather than trying to get your hand to do something. You don't want to be doing that. And there we go. So I notice a lot of you are doing little fairy houses over the weekend from Tile 150. And I think the nice thing as well is I'm starting to get lots of happy posts with these tile swaps. So the postie's loving them because you're drawing on the envelopes and he thinks it's great. And I think that helps the postman to sort of think, oh, I've got to be careful with this because there's a little piece of art in there. So it's nice, nice to do that. There we are. So I'm gonna work on this first one here. I know you can leave that if you want, work on one of the others, it doesn't matter. But I'm gonna just come on in, I'm gonna put a little semicircle there, a little bubble. And then just sort of fill it in. There we are. And then I've got space, I'm going to put another in. And again, I'm going to just fill it in. And same on the other side. Now when I say the same, if you can fit 3 on this side, don't think you've got to keep it with 2. Whatever works in your space. And of course your little bubbles are going to be a slightly different size to mine. So we're just going to focus on the bit we're doing it at one time. All right. It's just going to aura, draw around that shape there. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. There we go. And then again, see this side. And then on this side. There we go. And then this side. And now of course I can't actually get to this bottom line now. I'm going to go to there, but again I can't get through there, so I'm going to leave it. I'm just going to put that little mark in there, and then this side here. There we go. So now I can aura this space here, so I'm just going to follow the lines that I've drawn before and just nice and gradually fill in the space that I've got left. So I don't know what shape I'm going to end up with. I'm going to fill that at the end. It's just all about how that sort of works. Okay. And I'm just going to put a row of bubbles down this side. I've got to have bubbles in somewhere, so they're going in there. Okay. And then I'm going to miss 2. Okay, so 1, 2, yeah. And then I'm going to do the same tangle in this space here. And then same on the other side. I'm just going to fill them in. Now if you want to, you could fill them in with a different colour. Well, I'm going to bring colour in just in a little while. I'm not going to bring it in yet. Alright, just take your time filling those little bubbles in. There we go, into that one. Just drawing around it. And then same in this one. So of course you could do 2 or 3 on one side and then 2 or 3 on the other. It depends how you want to work with it. See, I know I can do 2 here, but what I don't want is for one side to take over and have more space than the other. So there we go, there's 2. So now you can see it's my space is getting a bit smaller there. So this one I'm going to just work on that area there. And I can do a little one there. You see, I'm just filling in that last little bit. There we go. And then again, just going to fill in that bit there. And then a row of bubbles. Now, if you've done bubbles on both sides or you want it on the other, that's absolutely fine. It just sort of feels right for me to do it there. So then I'm going to count 2 again. Then come into the 3rd one. And same as before. Now that one's going to sort of go into there, isn't it? It's not a full shape there. So we've got to sort of imagine that that's coming out the tile slightly. There we are. So my little boys, Seth and Benji, have been for their haircut today. It's the first time since lockdown. So certainly Seth had got a lot of hair. But John went to fetch them actually. He says they're all fluffy now. If there's people out there who don't know, it's my 2 boys and my dogs. I've got 2 Shelties. And yeah, they're adorable. I'll see if I can get a photograph of them both together when I get home later. And I'll post it so you can have a look at them. It did take some doing actually to get Benji in his little harness. He doesn't like going into a harness. He likes to be quite free. Oh, okay. So here we go again. Like counting 2. and then I'm in the third one. So just as before, it's slightly going off, so I'm only going to get one in there, see. Just gives that impression that this particular shape's never ending. It's been squished into this space, but it's sort of travelling underneath. All right, so just as before, look, put one in there. See, I can get two in there. And if I do two on this side, and then we're starting to sort of do one aside, just filling in the space. Again, I know that's the last. I'm going to put that one in. Oh, God, I didn't do there, look. Didn't do my bubbles. Okay. So, same on this one. So adding that little bit of interest on that side there. And then counting two again. And same again. Let's add those little bubbles in there. Okay, come on in and fill them in. Alright, you see, notice they're not the same shape or size. They're similar, but we're all different, so everybody's is going to be completely different. So it doesn't matter what you're working on and what tangle, however complex or simplistic it is, it's always going to be different because it's your take on it. There we are. See, I'm going to get two in there. So I'll do two this side. Again, I'm not trying to make them the same. I'm just sort of evening it out so we've got a similar amount each side. It just breaks it up then. There we go. So there, a little bit there, and then of course just going ahead and filling that little bit in there. Alright, then bubbles, don't forget bubbles. There we go. You see, I've got these pencil lines in there, but please don't worry about that again. We're gonna sort that out in a bit, but you don't need to rub them out. It's just gonna help with the shading in a little bit. Okay. So same thing again. There we are. And back around. Now this tangle is possibly the very first tangle we ever would have learnt or drawn in a class. So I know we're now on tile 151, but it still stands its ground, and it's a really nice one to do. So, you know, don't discard those first tangles. Don't look back at book one and think, oh, it's too easy, I won't use them anymore. Because a lot of it's still relevant. It doesn't matter how many tiles you do, it's always worth going back, just having a quick look. So now you can see I'm not going to be counting around here because I haven't got enough left. So what I am going to do now, I'm just going to, there you go, fill my bubbles. Okay, I'm going to come to sort of this side here and I'm just going to choose one. So you see you've got this bit of a pattern, it's going this way, so I think I'll go with this one. It seems the right thing to do, but choose any one that you want to do. Oh, rose, yes. Go with the brown, that'll look good actually, with the brown with the black. I've got a sample that I did. I used the burgundy, and that looks quite nice. But yeah, I thought because I've already done that one, it's nice to show you variations. So I thought, well, if I go with the purple, and you can see both at the end. Okay. So see how that's sort of working its way around. Sort of bits on each side until you can't sort of get past anymore. And then just sort of fill in the bits. And again, let's put those little bubbles in there. Count two, and then on to the next one. So this is a very repetitive design, and if it's something that you think, I really, I haven't got an hour to do it, this would work on one of the tiny tiles as well. So that'd be quite nice. Certainly if you're just using a fine line. Your basics, you don't have to put much colour and things in. But of course, once you've got the idea, you can use any tangle that you like to fill these in. You can, spend 3 hours on it if you want to. You could go bigger. You could do this on a round tile. That looks quite nice. There's lots of options. Always is. It's always about, you do what you like. This is just one way of doing it. Just putting those little dots in again. And okay, counting the 2 there, and then back in. This is going to be my last one of these. So I know it takes a little while, but it's all about that focus. I'm trying to sort of bring you back to just having a moment to relax, and don't worry about the end result. It's not going to look like a picture. That's what it's all about. There we go. So again, I can get 2 in there. Don't try and make them the same. They're not going to be. Just fill in the space you've got. There we are. Okay. So again, let's put these little dots on the end. Whew. Okay, let's have a quick look at that. Oh, there we go. So we've got a bit of a swirl going on. We've got those 2s. So I'm going to swap over now to my purple pen. Of course, stick with the black one. You don't have to. I'm hoping you're not going to notice a massive difference anyway. It's just about having a bit of a change. So I'm going to, it doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm going to come backwards, I think. I'm going to go to this one. And I'm going to add in a bit of a square. Okay, you see though I've added like a slightly curved line. There we go. And now it's before, so it's the side without the bubbles. So I'm going to do the same on all of them. Okay, so then this one's before. So just sort of about in the middle. Just adding this little square in there. There we go. And then let's see, one's going to go in there. And then of course, one there. Okay, I think that's it. I think we've got it. All right. Although looking at this top section here, I think I'm just gonna add that design there as well. It's sort of going with it, isn't it? Because I've got 3 shapes there, so I need to just do that one. There we go. Okay. Yeah, it does a little bit, doesn't it? Okay, let's go a little bit bigger so you see what I'm doing. So again, I'm going to work with the curves. So this one is going to sort of curve slightly this way. And then this one is going to come down bank. Okay. And then this one. And this one. So I've got a bit of a square design going on. Okay. So let's do the same here. Now, if you remember this first one, I actually did the right hand side up first. So I'm going to do the right hand side first. And then down. Doesn't matter if they're different, it's just nice if you keep it going. So if you started with it on the left hand side, that's fine, you can do that, but just it's nice to keep that consistency. So I'm not going to see as much there. Same with it right, all the time. Just a slight curve in what I'm doing there. Okay, same in that one. Okay. All right, so that's not too bad. You're not going to see anything in that one there. So I'm going to just pick a side now. I'm going to stick with the right, and I'm going to just sort of break it in half and put a line either side. The same with the bottom one here. Break it in half, put a line either side. I'm going to do this one while I'm at it. So it's this top one, break it in half and a line either side. So they're quite wide. You could go narrower, but again, it's it's just about keeping it within the time frame. But of course, you could do lots more if you wanted to. So up in the middle and then either side. Middle and either side. Now, of course, this one here is going to be one of these, isn't it? So let's just sort of put that in there. There we go. So I'm just doing the two of the squares here. I'm not doing all of them, just working on that shape. So up the top there, then either side. And same here, so in the middle, either side. Just about breaking that space up, isn't it? Okay, so you can sort of see the difference. It is clearer off camera than on, but that's okay. So I'm gonna come on to my black pen now, and in each of the squares that I've not touched, I'm just gonna sort of put a couple of little curves. Nothing much, just to sort of give it a little bit of an interest. So there we go. Oh, do we know who the winners were? Who won Andy and Low and Love's little giveaway? I don't know. So, was it yesterday that they announced it? I honestly don't know. It's a nice little giveaway, that. There we go. Okay, let's have a little look. Oh, Joe, thank you. Where have I missed? Purple square, purple square. Oh, I have, yes. Well spotted. There it is. That's okay. Can do it now. It's quite tricky to see because when you've got the camera sort of in front, you lose focus a little bit. There it is, all done. And again, a couple of little curves. All right, so we've got a couple of different designs going on here. All right, so I'm going to go back to my black now, but by all means, if you want to, you can come in and use a different colour. And let's start with this one. I'm going to put a little curve here. I'm not going to make it too wide. And one here. So top and bottom. And then I'm also going to do this side. I'm not going to do this one where the bubbles are. And then the same in this one. Top and bottom. See, they're not too wide. And then that side. So I'm not going to do where the bubbles are. Same again, like now this one, it's going to not quite finish because it's going underneath. All right, so same again. Now you notice this time, I'm actually working my way round the swirl. So I can sort of keep in track where I am. So top and bottom. And then there. Another one here. So see, I've not put one of these curved lines where those bubbles are. Okay, so that one, I'm not really going to see much there, but I'll put one in. Let's have a look now. Oh. And then here, look. Same again. Now, of course, be aware that turning your tile is going to be better for you. So, I didn't put my bubbles in there, look. Oh, did we spot that? One there. Okay. So we've got that kind of thing going on. So again, I'm gonna work to this one, and I'm gonna put a diagonal curve. So I've got a bit like that kind of leaf shape in the middle there. So if I follow it round again, see this one here? I'm gonna go this way, just like I've done on the outer edges. And then this way, just creating that bit of a curve. And then into the next one. There. And then the next one. See, that one's gonna finish up here somewhere. Turning it round, same again, there. Okay, turning it round, and there. Now, okay, I've done those, but I do need to come back and do these. So, again, this one, and again, it's going to finish sort of here somewhere. And this one, see why we did them quite narrow? We want them to sort of work together there. And then, of course, the last one in there. That's okay. So, looking back at this one, might be a little bit tricky to see. I'm going to make it a bit bigger for us. Okay, so I'm wanting to go from corner to corner again, doing the same thing, but this time I'm going underneath that first one. So you see this one here, look, I've got point to point, or corner to corner, so it's going to go underneath and round into that one. So I've got this sort of really odd kind of a cross shape. There we go. And round we go. So it's just keeping track now of where things are, because as you can see, our designs, as simple as they've been today, they're, you know, crossing paths and all sorts of things. So it's important just to keep your focus there and follow where they are. So I'm going to put this one in while I'm here. It's going to go up there. And of course, by continuing to turn the tile, it's helping with that curve. Just giving us a little bit of, you know, a head start really, where they're all going in. Okay, I think I'm done. So I'm going to just switch back to my Richard, I know what you mean, yeah. That's why I stop reading messages and I just get on with the tile. But I have to do that because you're all following me. So, okay, I'm using my purple now and I'm just adding a couple of little flicks into the, see, I'll go in the middle first if I can, and then one either side. If not, so like here, perhaps one's only enough, or maybe two. Don't try and count and do them exactly the same. Just work with the space that you've got. And if your space allows you to put 2 or 3 in, then go ahead. Okay. All right, so here we go. Yeah. Just getting those in. Little bits. Just gives it a little bit of texture there. Okay. Again, you know, just don't worry if you're only getting 1 or 2 in. It doesn't matter. You don't want to sort of overcrowd it, but it just needs a little bit of something in there. I'll do that one while I'm there. See, this is it. I'm sort of now, I'm not following the swirl anymore. I'm just sort of filling them in as I get to them. So this is when, if you're not careful, you miss one. So, you know, just stay focused with it and it'll be fine. Into this one. Okay. So you see, the more you add in these extra little bits and pieces, the more the detail starts to emerge. I think, you know, you've got time to come back and do it later, and I know that you all wanting to have a chat to each other, and, you know, you read each other's messages, and that's lovely. So, you know, if you think I've not quite got it right, then I can do it later. You don't have to seriously focus on that. So I'm thinking that when we get our classroom up and running, then we're going to be doing not just tiles, but I thought it'd be nice to do classes for you know, how to do the snowflakes and that kind of thing, and, you know, having like a full drawing session and getting a few bigger projects in, you know, stuff that we don't get the time to do, and you know, when we're doing these live. So there's lots coming on. I'm just going to add some little dots on the end there with that colour. Okay, let's have a look. Think we've got it all, but if we haven't, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to come in now with my pencil, and this is where you've got to be a little bit heavier with your pencil. So don't be afraid to sort of use it and go too light, because the heavier it is, the better it's going to look. So what I'm actually doing now is I'm following around and recreating that first swirl. Okay, and you can see I am pressing on pretty much. Now, it depends on what paper you're using, of course, as to how well it blends. If you're using one of my regular cream tiles, then go ahead and whack a load on, because it's gonna be fine. It's gonna move. But you know, just sort of be aware that we're going to be blending this. So, okay. So you see, I'm not worried anymore about what's gone on underneath or where any of the designs are. There's nothing about that now. It's all become one design. And the same here, look. Okay, our way around. I think we could even do a class, couldn't we, on how to use the frames. You know, a lot of us have got those frames. I know sometimes we get a little bit stuck on them. See, I'm coming back on myself now, and I'm putting pencil on the other side. So I've got a row of amount of graphite on either side of that initial pen line. Okay. There is one rule, I suppose, though, if you're going to come to class, is you are not allowed to bring Leslie clothes. No socks allowed, because you know what it's like with elves. You give them a sock, they think they're suddenly full of magic and they can do what they like, and we can't have that, can we? Okay. All right, so onto my tortillon now. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to start on the inside, as I'm going to work in swirls, and I'm just going to soften that pencil all the way around. Okay. Oh, Bridget, there are no mistakes. I know we worry about that, but honestly, please don't. Just enjoy working with it. Oh, Lindsay, yeah, I've got to do my tile swap actually. But I've been working on some new designs, so we've got them finalised first. I think that was a bit more important, and I'll get the tile done this week. Okay, so you see where I'm working here? Now, if I actually come and do the other side, the idea is I'm going to work on both sides, but I want to keep that lightness in the middle. There we go. And just sort of working my way around. See, I'm just going to do this bit while it's here. Yeah, keeping that swirls. There we go. So, no, you're pressuring Chris. Means he's going to have to use one of his tiles. If you don't know, Chris does odd tiles. I think actually he's probably got every colour of every tile I've ever done. Probably. Even some of those elusive red ones that Leslie tries to pinch. Yes. There we are. Okay, so you see the difference it's starting to make now. Oh, Jackie, how could you have not opened them? You've got to open one and try it. Certainly with a white pen, it's just fabulous. There we are. So hopefully you can see a little bit of dimension coming through on yours now. It's obvious, you think if it's not quite doing what you want, have you got enough graphite on? You can always come back and add a little bit more. But you don't have to. You can see how it goes. Okay, thank you, Leslie.
You're welcome.
Cup of tea time, everybody. Okay. There you just looking at those, the colours of those Christmas ones are lovely. Yeah, I do like the green. I do Christmas trees on them and all sorts. There we go. Okay, so now we've got what I would call the first coat on. Okay. Oh, Chris, I'm thinking of doing weekends, certainly a couple of days, which is why we've looked for somewhere with a bit of a hotel. But then, of course, we can do day classes as well and things like that. Okay. So, yeah, I think we're going to try and, put a lot of different bits and pieces in. And it's not going to be tangling. We're hoping to, get a few other people in doing a few crafty classes. All right, what am I doing now then? I'm using my pencil and I'm just going around over the original line that I drew. Okay, so there's no shading involved at all here. It's just going over the line back and forth, just to create that extra little bit of weight on the edge there. You see? Same on these ends. Same here. Oh, there, I could do with a bit of, didn't blend that bit. Okay. Now, remember when I said about it being darker? Of course, you can see now the darker that edge becomes, the lighter the middle starts to look. Okay. So, I'm just going to come back in, add a little bit more pencil. Certainly on these ones that are quite large here. Okay. Remember both sides. Now this is a case that you can build it up as you go in, so you can get really, really dark. And then of course I'm just going to come and blend it out a little bit. Richard, certainly at the weekend there's lots of parking. There's limited space parking outside the main doors, but there's plenty parking within, I don't know, 2 minutes walk. So you could see the car parking from the windows. So definitely, we've hopefully tried to think of everything. I say we have got the issue of stairs. But I say if we can, we're going to look at renting a stair lift, so we'll be onto that. But yeah, definitely, yeah, it's definitely a step up from where we are. No scrapyard, no floods. I'm next on Create and Craft on the 12th. I say that sometimes they do change dates and times, but we sort of had a chat yesterday and it is the 12th. Okay, all right, so what do we do now? I'm going to just bring in my white pencil. Now, of course, if you haven't got a white chalky pencil or a pastel, you could come in now with a pencil rubber and actually just, put in a highlight down the centre. So all I'm going to do, I'm laying it on quite thick and I'm just adding a ring in the centre of this sort of swirly design. You see, you can hear it. I'm pressing on quite a bit. Okay, but the idea for this is I'm not going to be blending it at all. Just that in. Although I am going to blend that little bit of pencil there. I could do with a little bit more. So, just coming back in now with a pencil. And again, you can shade outside or you can shade inside. I think for this one, I'm going to shade on the inside. So I'm just going to add, again, I'm going to be quite heavy with the pencil here. So it's probably going to be worthwhile fixing this. I'm going to probably add a little bit of hairspray to it before I put it into my journal or anything. I mean, at the moment, it's in one of my clear pockets from my tile swap folder, and I'm putting them all in there. for safekeepings. I know I haven't got round to putting them in journals yet. And then of course, here we go. Oh, Rose, don't worry about it. You'll go back to that carpet roll at some point and you'll think, why did I find this difficult? It might just be that it was the particular tangle or the pattern that we used, you know, with the carpet roll. It might not necessarily be the roll, it might just be the tangle. So maybe try it with a different tangle and see what happens there. There we go. Alright, I think I am just going to come in, or I was, with a little rubber. Do I have one? 1 second, I do. Here we go. I'm just going to clean just around the edge of the tile there. Because I've put all my shading on the inside, I just want the outside, see, to be nice and clean. There we go. Alright. Okay, just right. There we are. And into this one. See, just those little marks off the edge. Just nice to clear. I'm just going to take it away and blow it for a minute. I don't want to sort of brush my fingers over it now because there's a lot of there's a lot of pencil on there. Let's see. There we go. Okay, so we could keep going with this as long as we like. We can. I'm going to come back in with my black pen and just draw in that original swirl. And again, it's whatever we can make darker. But what I'm doing here, I'm not actually drawing all the line. I'm doing like a broken line. So I'm doing a section and then missing a little bit. See, section and then missing a bit. And these are all those little sort of hints and tips that can make a tile quite remarkable. It's just having that little bit more of an artistic approach to finishing your tile off. There we go. Oh, Pat, you've got this. If you can do those fairy houses, you can do this one. You've got this. I have every confidence in you. Every confidence. There we go. So that, I'm going to leave it because I say we can keep going and we can keep adding. It's you know, worth doing, but of course it's really three-dimensional, isn't it, this one? I love it. I think, oh, I am gonna just come back outside. See, look, I'm tweaking and faffing now, but let's just add that pen line in there. There we are. Just finishes it off. Something a little bit different to do. And of course, I know, you know, with classes and things, I know not everybody's going to be able to get there, or you're too far away, but we've all been doing Zoom, haven't we, and all that kind of thing. There's nothing stopping us to do a live Zoom interaction as well. So some of you could be there and some of you could be virtual. So we've tried to think of as much as we can, and I'll let you know more as we get on with it. So there we go. Now I do have another one here. It's sort of same but different. Let's just move that out a bit. There we are. And of course, there it is. So what are the differences? Well, I've changed one of the tangles a little bit. So see here where we've just done the crosses. Here I actually added in a little circle and I've coloured in around the edges. Of course I used a burgundy pen rather than the purple. And then I've shaded on the outside and not the inside like that one. So you can see that's a little bit... Oh yeah, Liz, we could do that. There we are. So you see, let's... Same, look, you've got little dots in there and I've used a burgundy, whereas there we didn't. We just did the crosses and we've used a purple pen. So there's a few different ways of doing it. And of course you can then choose any tangle you like, any. Even if you've not done the tile swap yet, you could actually put dots in each one of those curves that we did originally and actually do this as a swirly one. Oh, that sounds like a nice idea actually, a swirly one for the tile swap. Whatever you want to do. So, okay, with that done and dusted, again, don't forget that what I would do is I'd just put a little bit of hairspray or fixative on it because there's a lot of graphite and I'd hate you to put in your lovely little sketch pads or whatever and shut the page and find that half of it's on the other side. So yeah, don't worry about that, get that done. Okay. So yeah, okay, a couple of things then. Don't forget tile swap. If you've not watched the video yet, please go watch it and get involved. It doesn't matter whether you've never done it before. If you don't think you're good enough, you are. Just give it a go. Send it in. Please don't use an 8x8 envelope. Send it in a regular envelope with a self-addressed envelope inside. Put your address on the outside as well. And I think Postie loves it if you tangle on them. So other than that, Friday, of course, as ever, 2 o'clock for tile 152. So sadly, no cake on Friday because it's only 152, so we've got to wait now till we get to 200. All right, so have a lovely week, everybody, and I will look forward to seeing you all again soon. And yeah, I can't wait to see what you do with this one. So take care. I'll see you soon.